So we're all trying to get to our suns. There's a path of growing from our past, from our moon, from the womb, through our mind, through our emotions, to finding our confidence, our spiritual purpose in life. Now the sun so represents the spiritual being, this confidence. It can show as the ego of, I'm this arrogant ego, I'm the best there is, and I'm driven to do this. This can be my pride, and my ego can be the sun. Or it can be the inner warmth of just radiant energy. So it's a puzzle. I can't say I got it figured out. You get glances at it from the categories of astrology, but just memorizing sentences doesn't do it. You have to take the time to say, what is it? How is it functioning in the solar system? How are we experiencing it? How do we come into this? By 1 year old, we know who we are. We may still be in a diaper. We might be able to stand up. We might not, but we know who we are. By the time we're 10 months old, we're crawling and we're knowing what we want to get, but we can't always get up to get the cookies. But we'll try to figure out a plan. Eventually we stand up, we're confident. By the time we're 1, I'm me, I'm somebody, I've been here a year. Then 2, then 3. Every year, this confidence gong builds up. I got to be somebody. It doesn't. If all the other factors are negative, you're not going to be able to live up to your confidence. If you don't stop thinking right, if you're making wrong choices, if you're not living right, that's all going to impede how confident you are. But if you're living simply, you're thinking clearly, you have, let's say, modest or moderate desires, or you're content and you're not too envious or jealous, or or too indulged. You have energy left over to shine, but the shine is the sun almost unimpeded by Mercury, Venus, and the moon, but they take their pieces and it ends up being in context to it. So we're all trying to be our sun. We're all trying to find our purpose, our goal, our heart. We're all trying to burn in life. So it's important, I'm shining. And sometimes we have to, but we're also trying to impose our moon, our Mercury, our Venus, and we're imposing inner attitudes that block some of the sunlight, that block some of our inner clarity of heart. And then if it does that, and we're doing it negatively rather than working with the sunlight and we're aligning with it, we're projecting our inner desires or inner thoughts out into the world and trying to make this important. So we're making our inner thoughts important. But that can go out as ego to someone else. Our sun can be, it should be guiding, our heart and our sun should be guiding what values are right, what way to think, what is a secure way to live. So this is a lot of big challenges within the sun, but generally in the chart, it's what makes you confident. And the style of what's going to, if it's Libra, it's a different confidence someone comes from. If you have a kid whose sun is Libra, they're going to be very different than a kid who's got their sun in Aries. You're not going to be able to treat them the same. They're going to respond differently. They're going to get their confidence in different ways. And each of the signs gives you to the 12 different attitudes of how confidence will come. Each of the houses become the most convenient direction to place your ego or put your power into, for better or worse. So they become important factors in your confidence. And the aspects to your sun will be stress factors, how stressful it is or unstressful it is. Some people can get their confidence without stress. Some people have the most stress, are stressed out completely in that they find their confidence in dealing with it. But that doesn't mean other people are going to appreciate that confidence. So it's funny how we're putting energy out. We have our confidence level or lack of confidence level. It's what we put out is going to affect our values, our self-worth, our ability to communicate, what we think and how we live. So how we live and how we think and what we want affects what we put out, but what we put out is also affecting what we want and how we think and how we live. Like I said, it's like a salad dressing all mixed up. When we're looking at a chart, we have to separate these out. And there's very few words that express the sun in your chart. Let's give it a few basic words: willpower, confidence. I like confidence. Some people, willpower, purpose, your purpose in life, your ego, your heart. Yeah, and those are things. But the spirit is a burning light. How do you burn as a soul? How do you be light and have your energy radiating out? How can you love unconditionally and be confident with anyone you meet? Whoa, is that possible? Do I want that? Can I think about it? Is it real? Do I feel, I don't know, that would affect how I'm living. I don't know if I feel good about that or I feel great about that. So the sun is really the source of everything. You have to, Any kid that's trying to study or learn, any adult that's trying to find, any person is trying to find their sun. But often they've been grounded in other planets till they make these other planets so important they're not remembering their heart and their sun. And hence are getting darker purposes, let's say. Less confidence. Wow. I come out of a very abusive and somewhat violent home family. And I got my confidence from playing sports, from being part of a team and playing sports, being able to be as good as anyone else. Wow, it was a place you're always trying to get better. I loved it and I didn't question it. Yeah, it hurt if you didn't win the championship, but if you did, but still, it's the one place I'm part of a team and everybody's putting in, and I had a sense of being purposeful and belonging. I didn't get that many places in my life. The marriages weren't exactly, they seemed like that for a while. They didn't stay like that. So we have many experiences every year that are solar experience, every day that are just every minute that solar experiences. But we build up other agendas and we think we don't have to deal with this. We can take this, we can do this. And it takes a lot of wisdom and a lot of time to sift this through your priorities, to know how you get a lifestyle together, to be thinking, okay, to be content with it. So your heart is shining. And if someone's heart is shining and they're 95, they're going to look like they're 40. If someone's 20 and their heart's not shining, they're going to look like they're ready to die. So how do you find confidence? How confident are you? You know, what's your purpose in life? Are you going somewhere? So basically your confidence is about being here now and that there's something to do in your life. You're going forward. You have somewhere to burn your energy to. They're going forward. So the sun, the moon's your past and memory. The sun is your sense of purpose and where you're going. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to do something. That's that push forward. That's your sun. So how strong is it? How brightly are you burning? How nobly are you existing? Wow. And all of these factors, from the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, aren't about anyone else. It's about how you've lived and how you made your choices, how you developed your education, your knowledge, how you think to get what you want and to feel confident. This is the package you want before you even measure what you've done out in the world or what you're going to do. The sun is this will, I can make it better, I could do something, I could be the best, whatever. So, yeah, so that's like, I guess this is about as far as I'm going to go with it today. But the sun is always a living purpose. It's going into the future. Really, we live in the moment with all of these planets here right now. Memory pulls us into the past. Our sense of purpose pulls us into the future. We're thinking, we want, we have all these agendas. And then the next thing, then we have, once, depending on how well we have this together, then we're going to put energy out into the world. If our confidence isn't good, it's going to affect how we put it out. If our confidence is great or too strong, we'll put out energy too strong. So how we are inwardly is going to affect what we put outwardly. And it's going to determine whether we're going to be rewarded for what we do outwardly. So there's another dialogue between these inner planets and the outer ones. But right now it's important to see these three stages of these inner planets and how they develop and how we get confidence or lack it, and how it's not necessarily a consistent factor. But in trying to find what makes someone confident, you're trying to tap the sun sign. You're trying to tap the house. You're trying to see how things are building up in that way or going against it and how to fix it. Okay. Every time I do this, I explain it in some ways and I always feel I missed a few things I can't say. So I'm not trying to define it. I'm just trying to tune in to the importance of these different levels of consciousness. And as you study more charts, more people, and you look at this more and more, you'll come to see how they express themselves. You don't have to project. You can look and perceive how they're working. And then you can compare how they're working to what you think the standard of how they work positively. And you can begin to see how to help somebody, even in the midst of great psychological despair or spiritual rejection. I think you have to be happy. When you're happy, you have your spirit in place, you have your confidence in place. All these things are together. It's about how to learn how to love unconditionally. The sun shines out to everyone without condition, but not everyone takes the energy in the same way. So how much love are you good for? How much confidence can you deal with? How much of a shining being can you be? Okay, I'm going to leave it here. We're going to start with the outer planets next week. And yeah, thanks. So just, it's good to go over it. You're going to be going over what the planets mean, running into these things again and again for as long as you're into astrology, probably for the rest of your life. And you start to see the poetry, a higher poetry, as it evolves. Okay, thanks. Good night, and see you next week.